Needs no introduction at all. The one, the only Ray Scott. How are you doing day 2 of CRS?
I'm doing great. This is my day 1. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you're still rested. You look great.
Yeah, absolutely. I do exfoliate often. No, I just went and paid a visit to my folks in North Carolina.
Okay.
And just got back. So we're getting here better late than never.
Nice and rested. So obviously you released your debut back in 2005, but you've been calling this kind of, wasn't like a break, but a little bit of a break. You called it like a regroup. Why did you call it that?
Like a reincarnation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had the debut back in 2005. I was with the label for a couple of years. We did have a top 40 hit,
Right.
My Kind of Music. But we had some creative differences, disagreements on what I should be recording after that because, they were wanting me to lean a little more towards the center, and I was too much of a traditional kind of guy to really want to go along with that. So long story short, I ended up losing the deal, and I was just sort of laying low for a while, just kind of doing the songwriter thing. I had a publishing deal. It wasn't until about 8 years ago, and it's crazy it's been that long now, but I wrote this little song called Those Jeans that really blew up on Sirius XM, and then they played a couple more of mine over the next 2 or 3 years after that, and so it did kind of give me a little bit of a rejuvenation. Just kind of one of those underground guys that I'm kind of blessed to have a really loyal and great following, and get to do what I love to do on my own terms. It's kind of hard to beat that. So.
You decided to make a record exactly the way we wanted. How did that feel? That had to be incredible to be able to do that as an artist.
Well, we kind of did that with Reality as well. It was just on kind of a shoestring budget. So the next go around, we did have a little bit of money to play with, and it was more or less just kind of making a record, not to try to fill any requirements by Music Row or by radio standards. It's a lot more possible to do things in a free and original way, and let the people who are going to like it, and the rest of them can go like something else.
Yeah, and I assume, that's still kind of your thought process now with your new music, right?
Oh yeah, continuously. If anything, I just get more confident with doing it whatever way I want to do. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of people out there that just kind of have a hunger for something different. That's not so programmed and not so. Some of the stuff just sounds so soulless to me.
Let's talk about Honky Tonk Heart, new single. What's the story behind that?
Well, it's just autobiographical. It's a song about my life and this life I choose, to run up and down the road and do this thing. But it's also kind of an ode to all the other troubadours running up and down the highway doing the same thing. We don't do it for the money, or necessarily big fame or anything like that. We do it because we love to do it. We miss this kind of music in our lives, and we know a lot of other people do too. So, I'm pretty excited for people to hear it. We've got some pretty good Spotify streams happening on it now, and we'll see what happens.
How has the fan response been to that song?
It's been really cool. The energy of it alone is makes it a really fun live song.
Yeah.
And then when they hear the last little verse, they kind of dig that too. But so it's been great, and I've got a lot of new songs actually that I've kind of started to play out, and which the fans at the shows, that's my A&R staff, so to speak. So I'm always pulling out something new, and I've been writing like a lunatic for the last 2 years. So that's always a great litmus. So I knew the first time I played that song out live that it was going to be a hit with people, at least. Maybe not on the radio, but a hit with people.
That's what matters, I think.
Exactly. It's called Honky Tonk Heart, oddly, and it's got 5 songs on it. 3 of the songs are kind of laid back, a little more ballady, if you will. And there's another one on there that it's kind of a fun song about that crazy girl we all know. You'll see what I mean if you hear it. But anyway, it's fun, and it's just, to me, it's just a kind of a stepping stone to whatever's after it. Like I said, written a bunch of new stuff. I'm actually about to go in and start recording again, and I'm kind of just making a map or a plan for the next 2 or 3 years worth of releases, and we're going to try to keep something coming, at least every 9 months if we can. So
do you like the idea of doing EPs or a full album? Do you have a preference?
Honestly, I love the full album aspect because, it brings a lot of different, colors to a project. The EP, to me, in some ways, kind of artistically feels a little bit incomplete. But in this day and age, at the rate of speed at which people consume music and they, chew things up and spit them out, they move on quickly. So, to put out a whole album right now, I think, you don't really want to spend, in my opinion, these days, over a year or so, year and a half, promoting any one project, because you need to keep the iron hot. At least that's what we're kind of figuring out, according to the algorithms and all the damn research. But so I'm feeling like that's sort of the plan. All I know is I got a ton of music and I'm ready to get it out there, and so that's the plan.
And the EP, March 1st. Download it, stream it,
yeah,
both.
Please.